Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The hair, yeah, you know what? I was literally gonna do my hair like an hour ago, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. Today we're rocking the fucking curls. And my hair is actually curly as shit. This hair is authentic. I mean, it is my authentic Einstein hair. It is. How is Sebas with the car? Bro, Sebastian, he literally like earlier last night. He was just in there FaceTiming a girl and just talking to her in the car. I'm like, bro, it's like raining, dude. It's like, no, 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 it's fine. I'm like, all right. Looks like the character. He looks like the character from Incredibles. Which character from Incredibles? There's like 10. He looks like the baby from Incredibles. No. Let me see. Baby from Incredibles. No, bro, he doesn't look like that, dude. He looks like a couple other characters, but no, not like that one. Good morning, good morning. Let's give it about a minute or two. Let's let everybody else get on. Anytime you got this hair, you're up to some crazy shit. Oh, it's Friday night. You know I'm gonna be on my crazy shit tonight. You know it. Not kidding. I've been falling asleep every single day, like at midnight, 1 in the morning. Then get like the classic 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Wake up, do it all over again. All right, sick. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. I love this. I love that this happened with this trade. This right here shows patience, patience, patience. Bring this here, bring this here. All right, Lucas, I'll write you down. I think I already wrote you down once, but I'll write you down again. All right, sick. All right, cool. If you guys can see my screen, type one. If you guys can't, type two. Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let today begin. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be talking about what is a fake out, what is an entry signal. I got some funny analogies here. You guys are not ready for these. Just the top of my mind, entry signal. That just sounds like a perfect topic to have great analogies on. Then we have what is considered, or however you spell it, what is considered proper day trading? What is considered, who wrote this? What is considered proper swing trading? What are market patterns? What are reversal patterns? What is a trading plan? And what is the proper way to think as a trader? And lastly, what is an entry signal? So today we have a somewhat jam-packed day. It can either be very easy or very hard. It is completely up to you guys. It is how you interpret each one of these topics. And my job here today is to make sure you understand every fucking second of it as easy as you possibly can. And I will complete my job. So let's begin. What is a fake out? All right, let me figure this one out. Fake out. Like if you have a fake friend, that means that they faked you out. They pulled up a certain type of way, then they left a different type of way, so they weren't real. So it was fake. So it's when something's not real. Okay, a fake out is a fake out. It is literally in the name. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try and find a different way on how to understand it. A fake out is a fake out. This is what a fake out is. This is a snake biting person and image. Well, literally, this is not what I wanted to show. There's like that classic Google picture of like, um, okay, there you go. This classic shit right here. This is basically what a fake out is. So where it's like trust no one or fake friends or whatever the fuck. There you go. The fucking person comes in disguise to bite you. It's the same exact thing with the market. The market is going to come in disguise, but it's not going to bite you. It's going to take your damn money. And that shit kind of suck more than a fake friend because a fake friend probably didn't cost you much. But a fake out on a trade costs you some money. I think that hurts more than a fake friend because a fake friend, you don't care. You don't, it's gone. And you don't ever have to talk to that person ever again. But fake outs are going to happen all the time, and the market's going to take your money all the time. It happens all the motherfucking time. Literally, all the motherfucking time. It is part of the game. It is literally inevitable. It's going to happen to you every single time you approach the market. And well, it's not going to happen to you every single time. Like you are prone for it to happen to you every single time when you come to the markets. There is nothing you can avoid from it. There's nothing that you can minimize your fake out probability. It is just there. The perfect analogy that I can put this when you go out to go surf, surfers, when you go out there to go surf, you are simply prone to falling and getting bitten by a shark. That's it. Like it's not gonna happen every single time you go out there, but you're very prone to that happening because in the environment that you are, there's a pro and a con to what you do. The pro is you're able to ride the fuck out of this wave and look sick. The pro of trading in the markets is you're able to capitalize and make a shit ton of money from great trades like this. But everything with a reward has to have a risk on the other side. Here, the risk is your life, right? Right here, shark. But this poor guy right here, that was not a good day for this guy. That guy did not have a good day. I'll tell you that right now. Luckily, this is fake. Because if that was real, that guy was this guy right here. I guarantee you, he turned the fuck around and went home. The risk of surfing is obviously a bit greater than trading because the only thing you're putting at risk here is money. And at the end of the day, guys, money comes and goes, and you always could make more of it. But you only have one life, and you want to make sure you can take care of it as much as you can. So this fake out is what has to come with the market and the opportunities you're going to be trading. Sometimes fake outs happen as slow as this because it can take a little bit longer, or sometimes it can be quick. Fake outs can literally happen in a second. The market is going to literally, let's say you're gonna, there you go. Let's say you're going to take a sell trade right here, and you have your stop loss like this. And when you take this trade, you have all the confirmations in the world for you to actually want to execute this trade. Market can do boom, fake you out, literally like completely violate you, take you all your money, and then just go straight to your take profit. It is what it is. There's nothing that you can avoid from it. There's nothing that you can change from your trading plan from it. There's nothing you can do. Fake outs happen to me all the time, and I haven't like I struggle more trying to figure out how to avoid the fake out than just accepting it. When I just accept it, I have more clarity in the mindset and I just move on to the next trade that's going to make me that money back and a lot more. I don't stay attached to that. Like, I don't, some people find it funny when I don't know, when I do like recaps and stuff of the week and they're like, yo, like, how was this week? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what pair I traded this week. I don't even like I don't know. And I have hundreds of thousands of dollars on risk at the market. Why? Because like I'm not attached to the trade. I'm not attached to the pattern. I'm not attached to this shit. I see an opportunity. When I trade, I'm like tunnel vision. I only see this right here. I don't really care what pair it is. I don't care what the price is. I don't care. I just care this, the pattern. And when I see this, if I see a great pattern and can make me more money than what I'm going to risk, that's a great business decision. I see trading like a business. And I'm investing into different types of businesses. So I'm almost like Shark Tank, my own version of Shark Tank. Every single time I go enter a trade, it's like me putting money into a business. Now I analyze the business. How long has this CEO been around? What type of product do they have? Are they profitable? Do they have sales? All the shit that the Shark Tanks guys ask the people to decide if they're going to invest into them or not is the same thing that I do, but analyzing the market. Now, at the end of the day, let's say that that person that goes on to Shark Tank is full of shit and they sold you a dream and managed to swindle one of these guys into a deal without having everything fully legit. It happens. It's part of the investing game. It's part of being a shark on Shark Tank. You just move on. You're not going to let that deal affect the next deal and the guy comes in. They're not associated or correlated at all. It's the same exact thing here. When you have a fake out, there is nothing that you can do about it or change about it. You simply move on to the next deal. You move on to the next trade. So a fake out is going to happen to you. You cannot fix it. So that's the notes I would put here. Fake out is when the trade basically wicks you out when the market just goes into your stop loss quick and then goes back down into it. Now, how can you come back from a fake out or whatever? Or do you re-enter trades after a fake out? That we're going to talk about in the how. So how we can use this to our advantage. We'll speak on that later. But a fake out is basically when the market goes into your stop loss seconds or minutes or hours after you enter the trade, stops you out by 1 or 2 pips or by 10 or whatever, and then it goes straight into your take profit. Moving your stop loss up or down is not going to avoid a fake out. Having a smaller risk is not going to avoid the fake out. The only thing that you can do to avoid a fake out is not trade. If you don't trade, you cannot get caught on a fake out because you're not putting anything at risk, but you don't have anything to gain. So if you don't want to lose a business deal, don't invest into businesses. It's not meant for you. A fake out is going to happen. You are going to lose money many times, like myself, and you just move on to the next trade. It's not going to happen as often as you would imagine because I'm going to teach you guys next week and the week after how to minimize the amount of fake outs that you can possibly have, but they're still going to happen. An average trader can get faked out, I don't know, like 30, 40, 50% of the time. I'm like at a 10, 15, 20% of the time because the type of trades that I take usually happen after the fake out, or they happen, or they just like the markets don't have any fake outs. Like out of 10 trades that I take, maybe 2 of them have a fake out and I enter after it already happened, or I get caught into it and then I lose. But usually fake outs aren't a issue. One, because I don't pay attention to them, and two, because I've fully accepted them already. So it's not something to worry about. It's not like this is gonna make or break your trading, but it is a possible like it is gonna be a very, very, very common thing where you're gonna enter a trade, it's gonna go straight into your stop loss and then straight to your take profit. And you're gonna think the banks are watching you. Trust me, I thought about it. That's why I move every fucking year. I think they're coming out my window. I think, I think they're watching me. And then that, dude. It's just the way it works. So that is what a fake out is. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Sick. What about liquidity grab and all this? Yes. So fake out slash wick out slash liquidity grab slash fake friend. It is all the same shit. It's literally a fake out. There's nothing different in between one or the other. Is this what they call a liquidity grab? Yes. Perfect explanation. Sick. Bro, I'm driving. I'll be home in 4 minutes. All right. What was the need for you to risk your life texting me that right now? Not gonna lie. I don't know how I don't know if I should say this, but I consider myself a professional texter and driver. Even on manual cars, I am a professional. No, I'm kidding. What is liquidity? I'll explain it right now. All right, sick. No, it's a joke, guys. I don't do it. Does this happen in a specific session? This happens in any session. This will happen anywhere. Again, when you're involved in the market, you're prone to this. When you're involved in the market, you're involved on any session. Why does the fake out happen? Are there technical reasons behind it? It's just the art of the business. Like, why do people fail in business? Just because it's how it works. Some people just don't do it successfully. So fake outs happen simply because the market had a liquidity grab. It just happens, dude. I don't have the fucking. A lot of you guys want to get like the deep reasoning behind it, and I don't know because I didn't make this up. Like I just know it happens, and this is how it works, and this is how you can avoid it, and how you can optimize from it. It just happens because the market moves not exactly how you would want it to. Market moves however it wants. That's why it happens. Same thing as when athletes go play a sport and they get injured. Why does that happen? Well, because they're playing a contact sport, they're prone to getting injured. That's just how it works. The more confluences on your trade, the less likely you are to have a fake out. The more confluences you have in the trade, the less chances you have for anything. For it to go against you, for it to move slow. Okay, what's this guy's name? This guy's spamming everything. Hakimi. Hakimi. You don't have to spam your question, bro. And I already answered your question, which is what if we adjust our stop loss according to the higher time frame? Adjusting your stop loss is not going to avoid a fake out. It's just going to make you lose more money. Yes, I am sharing my screen. All right, sick. If you guys understand what is a fake out, type 1. If you guys don't, type 2. Sick. Okay, I see maybe 1 or 2 twos, please. What do you do after a fake out? Well, it's more on the how. Okay, Rahul, Hansir, why are you typing 2, bro? I think you're the only fucking guy putting 2. You're just spamming it so much that I think it's other people. Can you enter on a fake out? Do you want to? I mean, I think I already explained that. Yes. I mean, can you enter on a fake out? I'll explain to you later. Do you always re-enter if you get faked out? I already answered that. And when we get there, I'll explain. I am sharing my screen, G Money. How many times do you get faked out in a percentage? I already answered that. It's anywhere from 15 to 20 to 25%. All right, sick. I think everybody gets it. People are just not fucking listening. All right, cool. I see some people that they don't understand what is liquidity. I had this added for one of these other days and I didn't really break it down, but I'll do it right now. What is liquidity? Actually, like I already fucking explained this shit. Now that I fucking realize. Liquidity is literally what we broke down yesterday, which is the volume session. So FX trading session. So to keep it very simple, very short, liquidity in the markets is when there is a lot of volume. When there is not a lot of volume, it's liquidity. I want you guys to realize a lot of things that I probably won't explain. It's because they just have a different fucking word. Like they just put it like, oh, I explained what a fake out is, but you never explain what a wick out is. Because it's the same shit. Like I don't have to fucking have I don't first of all, I don't know every single word people put in front of the same definition or something. But it's the same thing. Liquidity grab is the same thing as high or low volume session. Just volume session is, I think, more traditional than liquidity, personally. That's how I learned. But whatever. Liquidity is when there is a lot of volume or when there is no volume. This is a low liquidity session. This high liquidity. This is when there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of liquidity. This is when there's not a lot of liquidity, when there's no movement. If that makes sense, type 1. Sounds like what I said yesterday, right? Or whenever the fuck I said it. Oh, okay. Because it's the same shit. All right. So that is what liquidity is. So volume. Oh shit. All right, cool. Second, next we have what is an entry signal? What is an entry signal? Here we go. Ready for this one. Back to our gym analogies, right? People in a gym. You're analyzing your potential trade in the gym, right? And after you've done your top-down analysis, the market that you are looking at has to give you an entry signal for you to go and you start your whole entire um, your game or your pickup or whatever the fuck, right? You need to have an entry signal. You can't just go up to somebody when they're like this. That guy's in the zone right now. That guy is trying to hit a rep to get big. You're not gonna go up to him right there and be like, "Hey, how was your day?" Guy's gonna fuck up his set. You don't want to be that guy. And or when I don't know, like for example, she's jamming out, running her sweat. You don't want to like that's not the right time to approach a person for your entry signal. That's just not how it goes. You need the proper entry signal. You need something like like this. You get that look right there, you just go. That is your entry signal, and then you go and do your thing. Now you can get that look and still not get what you want, not make it outside the gym because it was just, shit just happens to everybody, men and women. You can get the entry signal that you would want, but it just might not do anything in your favor. It literally is just a fake out, a liquidity grab. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? You tie in the entry signal to the fake out. And it's gonna happen at the gym, gonna happen at your local bar or restaurant or whatever. But you're not going to let that stop you from not taking this trade because this trade has no correlation to this one. This is a completely different trade, and you can approach it the same way and wait for the entry signal and do it. And this one might work or it might not. But you need to wait for your specific entry signal, whether it's a look, whether it's a or whatever the fuck people do. I don't know, bro. I don't really like go out there like that. Whatever the entry signal is for you to be like, all right, this is good to go, and then you go. That is the same thing that you wait for in the market. You do not enter a trade without an entry signal. You need an entry signal. You cannot approach a person, trade, whatever, without an entry signal. You're just going to be that guy that you're interrupting something. It's not smooth, it's not organic. It's not going to work. The odds of it working when it's not organic is very low. People like the people are automatically going to go in defense. Men, how many times have you gone up to a girl and tried to start a conversation or ask for her number when she did not give you the entry signal? How well did that turn out? Not well at all. It's not how it works. When you have this fucking connection or whatever, and you make eye contact or you do whatever, then there the entry signal, the approach is a lot smoother. The success rate is a lot higher. Same thing with trading. Without an entry signal, you're gonna interrupt the market setting up the entry signal for you. It is going to happen. You just have to wait for it. And if it doesn't happen, it wasn't your trade. You don't take a trade without an entry signal. If you don't get an entry signal from a person, you don't go up to the person. It is not your trade. You wait for another one. Save the humiliation you're gonna go through and your aura for the next one. Don't lower your aura and your self-esteem by forcing a trade when it's not giving you the entry signal. Same thing with trading. Don't waste your money and don't waste your mental stress and everything on a trade that's not ready. Save it for one that is. The entry signal is literally the last part of a trade. So an entry signal, you do not take a trade without it, and it is the last part of a trade. It's literally at the point where you're going to execute the trade. So when you get the execution of the trade, then that's where it comes the trade management and all that, which I'm going to explain later inside of the bootcamp. But the entry signal is needed. Without it, you cannot enter the trade, and you're going to save yourself time, stress, aura, everything if you don't get it. If this makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. The analogies, bro. I'm telling you, bro. The analogies, man. How many girls do I go to up in the gym? Oh no, dude. I'm the market. I gotta give the entry signal. I'm totally kidding, dude. I literally have a gym here in my house. I don't see anybody. Should we stop our part time? No, Gora, Bati. This guy is literally spamming. Should we stop our jobs right now and only work on the boot camp? Dude, no, 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 no. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that at all. Is an entry signal like a pattern? Now, exactly what it is and how it works, that's going to be next week. And it is going to be a pattern and stuff like that. But right now, I just want you to understand like what it is and that you do not take a trade with it. And it is the last point of your trading plan. What can I write that describes entry signal? Motherfucker. Motherfucker. I don't want to talk about examples right now of the entry signal because you guys are going to learn the entry signals first, literally tomorrow, which is going to be the task I'm going to give you for tomorrow. And then we're going to be able, like, I want you guys to understand for the intermediate and the advanced traders, the entry signal is almost like the holy grail for them. They think that that is the one thing they need to know to become successful. And it's actually the last thing they need to know to become successful. You're not going to take a trade on a woman just because, they give you the entry signal. There's so much shit that has to go down before the entry signal, before you even get to, like, dude, that is like literally the last part, dude. So literally the entry signal is the last point. So I just want to explain to you what it is very briefly, and then we're going to get into the details. Perfect. So if an entry signal makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Sick. Perfect. Simple. Amazing. Perfecto. Magnificent. Sick. Now, what is considered day trading or proper day trading, and what is considered proper swing trading? Now, I did not have this as topics to break down, and I can put here what is a scalper or proper scalper, whatever. I didn't really put these as topics in the last bootcamp, but for some reason, people wanted to know what is, like, I guess people want to know that, okay, I'm a day trader, or I am a swing trader, or I am a scalper. Like, if that does anything for you in terms of making you more money in trading, like if that is going to make you a better trader, as if that's going to only make you find day trading opportunities if you call yourself a day trader, or you're only going to find swing trading opportunities if you're a swing trader, or if you're only going to find scalp opportunities because you're a scalp trader. This is all completely false, and it's just, you kind of blowing smoke up your own head because you want to be a day trader and only take day trades. I think that is the dumbest thing you can possibly do, because you're minimizing yourself to many opportunities that the market has to give. You have to look at yourself as a surfer. Again, for me, I love the best example when it comes to trading, the surfing analogy, and I can put a bunch of different ones, but for me, the surfing is the most effective and it makes the most sense. You don't give a shit if you're fucking riding a small wave, if you're riding a medium wave, or you're a savage and riding the big ass wave. You just want to go out there and surf. You just want to go out there and ride the wave from wherever it gets created all the way to the shore. Now, you can have a preference that, you feel more comfortable and you can go faster and do more tricks on the smaller waves, or you can have a preference and you find better feeling when, or better pictures, whatever reason you surf for, when you ride a bigger wave. Now, sure, you can literally have a preference of what you would rather do, of what you would rather do and what you're okay with. But at the end of the day, you're surfing on the same ocean that somebody else is surfing on, a small one or a big one. Now, what you decide to do, it is completely up to you and what you're okay. But I would not limit myself to only surfing big waves, because not every single day you're going to get big waves, and not every single day you're going to get small waves. It depends on the weather, depends on where you are in the world, depends what beaches you're going to. There's many different factors on to what type of waves you're going to be getting. And if you only learn one type of wave surfing and the weather conditions don't qualify to give you those type of waves for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, you're kind of screwed. You're not going to make any money. And let's say when the waves do come back, since you're a little bit rusty, you're probably going to fall. And by the time the waves are done is when you start picking things up. You were never able to wave. You were never able to surf again good, because you had so much off time. When you do come back, you're not fully optimal on how you should be because you had too much off time. So it's the same thing in the markets. You don't want to only limit yourself to one single type of trading. A scalper, a swing trader, and a day trader is trading the exact same market every single day. We're all in this together. We're just trading different portions of the wave. You're either trading the big part of the wave, the medium size of the wave, or the small part of the wave. And the way I'm going to teach you how to trade, you're going to be able to identify all three. You're going to be able to identify the big wave, the intermediate wave, and the small wave. Now, you make a decision off of that. Do I want to take the small wave today? You're gonna literally see it. You're gonna see the wave. You're gonna fucking see it. And you say, nah, I'd rather stay at shore. It's not worth going out there and getting wet for it. It's not like the water wetting you, right? It's not worth like going out there and getting wet on the ocean for such a small wave. I only like going out there when it's a medium-sized wave. Or you said, you know what? I don't want to paddle out that far and I don't want to kind of get potentially eaten by a shark. I want to just go for the small wave. Or, you know what? Today I'm feeling like that guy. I want the picture. I'm going for the big one. You're going to know exactly what the market is at that very point. And most importantly, what is required for you to execute a trade on each and every single one of these trades. You guys are going to literally learn that in 1 week. It's going to be very easy. You're just going to be able to see it, because right now it's right in front of you right now. Like it's literally right here, but you just don't know how to see it. You're going to come back to this recording, to this portion of the video, and you're going to see what is right in front of you with the knowledge of what you learn in 1 to 2 weeks. And it's going to make sense now after you see it. But right now, it does not make sense. In 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to be like, dude, I know exactly. Like right in front of me right now, there's a medium-sized wave. You just don't know how to spot it. You just can't see it. You're blind, which is fine. It's okay. I don't expect for you to, get it right off the bat, because I haven't taught you just yet. But you're going to know exactly what the waves are doing, how to spot them, and then for you to be able to execute them. I would never limit yourself to only being called a day trader, only being called a scalper, only being called a swing trader. There is an ocean full of waves, and you can either ride the small one or you can ride the big one. But you know how to ride both, and you know how to identify both. You're not blind to neither of them. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Sick. What are the pros and cons of a big wave or a small wave? Well, I mean, I think that should be self-explanatory, but You're a hidden professional surfer? Nah, dude. What are the differences between each? Sure, I could, break down a little bit of that. So the differences between day trading, swing trading, and scalper is just the size of the trade, essentially. Proper day trading should be anywhere from, you know, 1 to 2 days max, right? Like if anything, max 1 day. Swing trading should just be about 5 days or anywhere from 3 to 8 days. Put it here. Anywhere from 3 to 8 days if you hold trades over the weekend. And then scalpers is anything under 12 hours, but I like to do it anything under 1 day. But to keep it technical, would do anything under 12 hours. A real true scalper is under like 6 hours, but I don't even think that's real trading because having a trade only go for 10 pips or 20 pips or 30 pips, like that shit works on $10,000, $20,000, maybe like 100,000. But when you start getting into like the really big figures, taking like 10 pip trades, 15 pip trades, that like the spread alone will be that much. And there goes your whole trade. So what I mean by that is when you go enter a trade, right? Let's say you have, for example, let me go to a different market. For example, let's say I want to buy this market from here to then here, right? For whatever, let's just put right there, 15 pips, right? A scalper will come here on the 5 minute time frame, right? And again, I am getting a little bit ahead of myself, like always, but I will do it just to explain to you guys. A scalper will come here on this 5 minute time frame, for example, and they'll put a take profit for 15 pips and a stop loss for 15 pips, right? And when you put a lot of lot sizes behind this as a big scalp trader, the moment you enter the trade, the spread, the slippage, the cost to doing business is not going to enter you right at this point. It's going to enter you up here. Why? Because it's just the way it works. The market has fees, and since you're betting bigger money, it costs more money. They can't enter you right at this point. The spread and the slippage and the fees will enter you up here. So now your take profit is only 6 pips. Now you can't really make money on that because even if the trade actually goes to your take profit, when you close that trade, you're going to get the same slippage, the same spread, the same everything. The trade is going to basically be negative. You're going to enter a winning trade on the chart, but in the actual markets, you're negative because that style of trading, that little push momentum trading, it does not work on big amounts of money when it comes to scalping. So, and before I continue to go, if that made sense, type one. If it doesn't, type two. I wouldn't be super surprised. Oh, okay. Wow, everybody understands. I actually love that. Great. Great. Can that happen in your favor? So I get why some people mention that. Can the spread ever happen in your favor? And the answer is I've never like I don't really think so. Like I don't like no. No. I mean I don't know, dude. Like I don't really pay attention to that. I don't look at the fees, bro. I don't look at the 1% shit, dude. I look at the big numbers. But no, there's no way you can have the spread in your favor. Before you enter a trade, you're negative. Every single time you enter a trade, you're literally going to be negative because the broker takes its fee right then and there. They're not going to wait for you to make money or lose money. They're like, you want to get involved? Give me my piece. Go do your thing. They're not going to wait for you to make or lose money and then take their piece. Fuck that. What if you lose all the money? Then they don't get paid. So no, you're never going to have that in your favor because as soon as you enter a trade, you're going to be negative because of the fee. So that is what the spread and scalping can possibly be. So the basic difference in between all three of these is just going to be that ones are longer than the others. meaning they're analyzing the markets on higher time frames or they're analyzing the markets on the lower time frames. Again, I'm going to teach you how to spot all three of them. It's going to be very obvious, but I would not put my priority on focusing on which one is which. You're just going to know. And you're going to tailor your trades to the day trading and swing trading type of trades because they're just simply going to make sense. And when it comes to the trading plan, when you go give your trade a grade, the grade you're going to give a day trade and the grade you're going to give a swing trading is going to be a lot higher than the actual scalp trade. When you go execute a trade, before you go and do, your entry signal, you analyze it and at the end, before you take it, you grade it. This is an A plus trade. This is a B trade. Would you rather have an A or a B? You're going to go with the A every single time. So would you call yourself a day trader? Dude, I call myself a trader, bro. I just like I have again, it's literally what I just said. It doesn't matter. Say you pay slippage and spread when you enter a trade. Yeah, you pay the slippage and slippage is just like the hiking thing. You don't pay that. That's just part of the game. The spread is the fee in the parking lot when you go hiking. You pay that every single time when you go and when you leave. Yes. What does the strategy work best on? On the day trading and swing trading. Is the entry signal different on each time frame method? Yes and no. When we get to that, it'll make sense. Trust me, you guys by yourselves are gonna be like, dude, fuck scalping, bro. Like, dude, I'm gonna wait for this. Why the fuck would I even wait for this? Yeah, I'm just gonna go to this. It just logically does not make any sense to be here. It makes more sense to be here. So if scalpers don't have a risk to reward of at least 1 to 2, how are they profitable? They're not. Now, scalpers tend to have a higher win rate. Could you have a trade which intend to be a day trade but then plays out in 4 hours? Would you consider that a scalp trade? Yeah, that's happened to me, of course. Yeah. But at the end of the day, who cares? Like, I'm not gonna be like, yes, I just won a scalp trade. Dude, I just made money. It doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't like it's not about it being a scalp trade or it's about it being a swing trade or being a day trade. It's about it being a high probability trade setup. Now, if it happens in 1 hour or if it happens in 36 hours, it does not matter to me. What I care about is that it happened. That's it. I will never differentiate the profits of a trade because it's a day trade or a scalp trade. If it hit the take profit, hit the take profit. Have I tried scalping in the past? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like exactly like the last trade that I took on the 100 to the mil account, it was kind of a scalp. It happened in under 12 hours, so it's a scalp. But I don't know, dude. Like to me, none of this matters. Scalp, day, or swing. What matters is a high probability trade setup. Hey, if there's a high probability scalp trade or a small wave, bro, I'm gonna take it. Like it's really not that complex. I don't care if it's a scalp trade. I don't care if it's a day trade. I don't care if it's a swing trade. What I care is that it's a high probability trade setup. Shark Tank, they don't care if they're investing into a clothing brand. They don't care if they're investing into dog treats. They don't care if they're investing into technology. What they care is that they're making a great business investment based off of the numbers of the business and the type of projections that they have. That's really it. They don't care what type of business they're going into. They're all businesses and they're all under one umbrella. These are all market trades and they're all under one umbrella. If it makes sense, type one. If it doesn't, type two. Your analogies are sick. You make them up yourselves. Yeah, bro. This is all like my own like head. Sorry for spamming, but GBP and ZD did, bro. We're not taking the trade yet, or whatever. During the how week, are we gonna go over your hundreds to the mill trades? No, we're gonna like break down like active, like live trades. AJ, you're back. Great. We missed you, AJ. Thanks, man. Do you have access to the recordings when it's done? No, no, no. You guys don't have access to the recordings. Sorry. No, 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 you don't. Do you guys just get access to the Discord? No. You got scammed. Sorry. You get access to Sunday swings? No, no. You don't get access to nothing. All right, cool. It's a joke. Obviously, you do. Fuck around with people that. All right, six. Next. What are market patterns? So I don't want to go too deep into an analogy on this because I think it should be self-explanatory. Meaning, a pattern is when something repeats itself. We see patterns all the time. We see patterns in traffic. We see patterns in people. We see patterns in your day-to-day life. Wake up, brush your teeth, and you get in your car and go wherever you got to go. That's a pattern. Happens very often. The ocean gives us patterns. We all know what a wave is going to look like because this is a pattern that happens very often. Now, sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's closer, sometimes it's wider, but there's a pattern to the wave. There is a pattern to the market. You're going to see them all motherfucking day. And there's a bunch of different types of patterns. You can have patterns range from what is to be called a double bottom, double top, the head and shoulders, you hear me talk about a lot, the breakouts, the break and retest pattern. They're all different types of market structure that then creates the pattern. Again, the market structure is life. It is everything of the market. Without market structure, you got nothing. You cannot have a pattern without the market structure. You cannot have a wave without the ocean. The pattern is created because of market structure. The wave is created because of the ocean. They go hand in hand. Now, these patterns work in your advantage to enter a trade and to avoid to enter a trade. Now, how you do that and how you spot them and how you identify them and how they work and whatever, that is going to be next week. Many different patterns that you could have, once again, are going to be a double top, which will look something like this, or a double bottom, which will look something like this, or a head and shoulders, which is something like this, or a inverted head and shoulder, which is something like this. These are all multiple different patterns, and there is many more different patterns. There you can come into here, and then you have the XABCD pattern. Come into here and you have the fucking ACDB, whatever the fuck pattern. Like there's a gazillion different patterns in trading, and there's many different ways on how to be able to read these patterns. I don't know how the hell to read any of these patterns. The only ones that I know are going to be double top, double bottom, head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, breakout, and break and retest. There is no other patterns in the market currently that I know how to use, that I personally use, or that I find an edge in the markets. You have a breakout and a break and retest. At the end of the day, these are all the same exact patterns. One is just for when the market is bullish, and the other is for when the market is bearish. This is your bearish example. This is your bullish example. So in this example right here, again, getting a little bit into the how, but it's okay. This is when the market is creating higher highs and higher lows. What is a higher high and what is a higher low? We're going to talk about that next week. This is when the market is bullish, and then you have a reversal pattern on the double top. This is when the market is bearish, and the market then has a reversal to then the upside. Same thing here. Patterns, you know what, before, I should not even do that, right? I'm just gonna do this. So there's patterns, and then there's continuation patterns, and then there's reversal patterns. This is a reversal. This is a reversal. This is a reversal. And this is a reversal. This is a continuation. Again, continuation. Okay, so these are two reversals. And this is a continuation. It fucking looks like I spelled that wrong. Continuation, 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 continuation. So these are the four market patterns that I use. Two reversals and two continuations. If that makes my sense. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Very simple. Can you write the names above? No. I mean, I could, but the point is for you to learn. Like, I know it. This is a inverted Head and Shoulders. You're supposed to like look at it. You're supposed to understand it. Inverted Head and Shoulders, and then a regular Head and Shoulders, double bottom, double top, breakouts, breakouts, break and retest, break and retest. Which one is safer to trade? I mean, for me, the one that I find the most success in is the Head and Shoulders. But there's not like one that's better than the other. They're all equally. I just happen to see this one the most. Jeremy, you spammed it 100 times. This is the one that I just happen to see the most. Is it double top and double bottom? Okay, yeah, that is on the how. I like the analogy, Hunter. Which one do I like the most? I like the Head and Shoulders the most. It's the one that I like the Head and Shoulders the most, and the break and retest the most. What is the sizing of it? It's kind of on the how. What do you mean by reversal? You mean it's a reversal pattern? Yes. What do you think about indicators? We spoke about that already. I like double tops. Oh, dude, this guy. Why'd I even read that? On 10 trades, how many of them do you win with the Head and Shoulders? 60% of the time. Do you personally look for any other patterns? No. I think I said that already, but no. I don't understand the reversal pattern. Cool, you're not supposed to. You're just supposed to look at it and be ready for next week when I show you how. What is the least successful one? I don't know. I don't know. These are the ones that I use. I don't know which one's least and which one's the best. I'm not gonna tell you, oh, you only trade this one, you're gonna win every single time with this and that. That's not how it works. Do you always search for them and let them play out? Yes. Do any of the patterns happen one after another? Yes, I guess. Can you please repeat the names? Sure. Double top, this one right here. Double bottom, this one right here. Head and Shoulders, inverted Head and Shoulders. Break and retest, break and retest. Breakout, breakout. Does the pattern work on all time frames? They're going to happen in all time frames. They're going to be more significant in one than the other. When we get to that point, I'll break it down. Trust me, next week is where things are going to start getting wrapped like better. People really get to, yeah, people get. Who created these patterns? I don't fucking know, dude. Yeah, the higher the time frame, the stronger. Should we also, yes. Can we move on? Okay. If you guys understand what a pattern is, type 1. If not, type 2. Okay, cool. Everybody has a pattern. People are just curious on the who created the patterns. I don't know. All right, cool. These patterns are going to be like, I wish, maybe like in the future with better technology and stuff, if there could be profile of each person right in here and a history of the question they ask. And I would want for those same people to look at their progression over the course of the 30 days and see the beginning questions they asked and how they ended off at the end. Like the profile of the person is going to completely shift so fast. And I want to see the face of who's who asking some of these questions. I just want to see what you look like. I'm just curious. It's not for any particular reason. So market patterns and reversal patterns are those that you saw there. They're going to happen on the higher time frames. They're going to happen on the lower time frames. The higher the time frame, obviously, the more respected. The lower the time frame, the less respected. Now, why is that? Is because it takes longer for a head and shoulders pattern, for like this one that you see right here. Clearly see left, head, and then a right shoulder. It took for this to create about 6 days and 4 hours. That's how long it took this head and shoulders pattern to happen. 6 days. So when you go down to the 15-minute, for example, let's say you have a head and shoulders pattern right here. You have a left head and a right shoulder. It took this head and shoulders pattern 5 hours to be created. 5 hours versus 6 days makes a lot more sense. That what took longer is going to be a lot more respected. Now, is that a fact? Somewhat. Does it mean you're going to only take head and shoulders patterns on the 4 hour or the daily and not on the lower time frames? No. This is going to make sense on next week. Don't you worry. This is going to be very key for you guys to understand that you have to be patient for these patterns. You got to wait 6 days. Let's say the pattern starts right now on Friday. You got to wait until next Friday for that pattern to be done. And you can wait for that pattern to be done. And as soon as you enter that trade, after waiting for 6 magnificent days, you get wicked out. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. It's part of the game. But over the course of 10 trades, you will have a higher percentage than what you originally started on. That is the goal of this whole trading business and industry. This is what a pattern looks like. One of them. I know I can literally just I can literally like close my eyes, like scroll to the left, and like I already spotted one right here. Inverted head and shoulders, left head, and then a right shoulder. I can do this. Like I can literally do this all day. Come to this section here. Cool. Nothing here. Here we have another one. Left head, and then a right shoulder. They're gonna come in all different types, sizes, all different types of sizes and shapes, and you're going to learn how to read them. This is a fake head and shoulders because we never broke through the neckline. How does that work? What does that mean? It's going to be next week. You're going to literally have them everywhere. You're going to be able to spot them super fast, very clean, and it's going to be very effective. The head and shoulders is obviously my favorite, but they're all going to have the same effectiveness. Here you have another one right here. It's a little ugly. Looks like my ex. Left head, right shoulder. If that makes sense, type 1. If not, type 2. Kidding. I don't I don't think she was ugly. All right, sick. All right, moving on. Next topic. We have what is the proper why is interesting repeated 2 times? Let me take this out here. What is, well, first let's do what is a trading plan? Okay. What is a plan in general? Well, it's when you have when you have a structure to what you do, when you have a strategy, a plan, a man with a plan is very powerful. When you go to the gym, right? Now I'm not going to use a gym analogy. Fuck it. No, we're gonna go to the surf analogy. When you go to surf, you have a plan. You want to go out there and you want to have the biggest and the fastest time starting from one end to the other, or whatever the plan of a surfer is. Now, you have to work backwards for you to execute that plan. Well, all right, cool. One, we need a big wave. Well, then we need a surfboard. Well, then I got to make sure I have my wetsuit. Then I got to make sure that the wetsuit is clean. Got to make sure that I'm stretched to ride on the wave. Then I got to make sure I can pull up to the beach and there's parking. I got to go through traffic. I got to leave the house in the car. The car has to have gas. I have to walk out of the house. I have to put the shit in the car. I have to brush my teeth. I have to wake up. There is a plan. There's a structure for you. Like there's a bunch, like this guy had to go through that to get onto this wave. Without going through that very structurally, he's not going to successfully surf that wave. If one of those things are missing, his odds of successfully surfing this wave aren't very high. Same thing in trading. You need to have this happen with your trading plan. You have to work backwards or work forward, however you want to work it. You want to enter a trade? All right, cool. Well, you need an entry signal. All right, well, before the entry signal, actually, let me not even confuse you guys like that just yet. Let me first start off with the first one, which is going to be the trend. Well, after the trend, you then have to have your area of interest and blah, 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 everything else that you would need of your trading plan. Now, can this guy have one of those things missing before he goes out there to go surf? Sure, he could have not worn his wetsuit. That doesn't mean that the wave is not going to be created. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be a parking spot for him available. That doesn't mean that he can't go out there on his surfboard. He can still go do and have all those things. But he's probably missing one very key component, which is a wetsuit, which makes him not cold in the water or whatever. Same thing here. You cannot have one of the things in your trading plan and not wait for it to happen. That's not going to avoid the other things to not be there, but you just have to be ready and accept that risk. You not having everything that required in your trading plan is going to lower your probability of you having a successful trade. The trading plan is built, and I'm going to build it for you guys. Been using it for the last 5 years. It is very simple and very effective, but it is very, you're almost too free. What I want to explain, like a surfer, you can just wake up and not brush your teeth and not look at traffic and park on the side of the road. And when you go back, your car is towed or something. Like this trading plan is so easy to execute that you're going to probably sometimes not follow it fully, which is fine. Just know that there's a consequence for that. It can happen in your favor. It can happen against you. Like maybe you parking on the side of the road that day and not in the parking lot avoided you to get your car broken into because they were stealing stuff inside of the cars that day in the parking lot, for example. Now, it doesn't happen every time. That's not going to be an every single day case scenario. It's a one-off thing. There's a probability of it, but I wouldn't bet your house on it. I would bet your house on what statistically works time and time again. You park in the parking lot. So when you go out, your car is not towed. The odds of your car getting broken into, it's not that high. So the trading plan is something that you need to be very, very cautious about because you're going to have everything that you need to execute a trade literally right here. It's going to literally be right here. Let me see if I can find it. I saw it yesterday. Where was it? Let me see if I can find it for you guys. I have it here on my trading view. I have it lost. I don't know. Sometimes I put it over here or up here. Let me see. I literally saw it. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's it. Can't show you anything else. Sorry. That's it. If not, it's going to confuse the fuck out of you guys. Trust me. It's going to literally confuse you guys. So that was the trading plan very briefly, right? There's a lot more to it and it's going to make sense. for you to properly execute it the way that you should. Now, the trading plan is going to be for you to follow when you want, how you want. You're going to know exactly what type of trade you're going to be getting into every single time. You know, if you're going to go and take a trade on an A plus setup or on a B setup or on a D setup or on an or zero setup or whatever. Like you're going to literally know exactly what type of trade you're going to be taking every single time. You just have to accept the risk. And sometimes you just have to wait a little bit longer. You have to wait 2 more hours, 2 more days, 2 more weeks for the trade to go from a D setup to an A setup or a B setup. By the way, it's like A, B, C, D, like the higher, like for example, A is the best, B is not as good, C is not as good. That's just the grading system in America. I know I ran into this issue last boot camp that some people that are not in America, the grading system is very different. It's off of points or percentage or whatever. Basically, the higher the percentage the trade is given, the better. Now, that doesn't mean that a D trade is not going to play out. That's not the case at all. Some D trades, for example, can be fucking great, but statistically proven, it's not. So I would not statistically constantly bet that a D setup is going to be your wife or make all your money. I would always bet on what statistically has worked in the past, which is going to be the higher percentage trades, the better grade trades. But the beautiful thing about this is that you are going to know exactly what type of trade you're going to be getting into because of the trading plan, because of the grading system that is going to be given to you guys. The trading plan is a checklist. She has to have this, doesn't have this, doesn't have this. And at the end, you get a grade. Now, you wait for this to happen or do you not? If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Perfect. Do we have to back test? No, you do not back test. What is back testing? When you go back and you test the market in the past. Do you create a new trading plan every week? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Do you have a checklist before you execute a trade? I mean, yeah, I have it there. I don't, yes, I have it there, but I don't like look at it every fucking day. I mean, I've been doing this for a very long time. I created it, so I know exactly what I'm looking for, but yes, it's there. So a series of confluences that have to happen in order for you to take a trade. Yes, correct. And again, I'm saying all these things. I hope you guys are really writing things down. I love the art of listening and writing things down because you're forced to remember when you put things out on a piece of paper with your own handwriting. Is trading plan a synonym of a strategy? Yes. Masi, thank you very much. Trading plan slash strategy slash fucking set and forget. It's all the same shit. Everything here has a plan to it. There's a strategic order that has to get followed in order for it to be successful. At the end of the day, it's a plan. A strategy, there's a plan. Set and forget is a plan. Everything, everything. What is the best way to avoid breaking the trading plan? Emmanuel, that is holding yourself accountable. The whole beetle thing that I'm doing right now, or been doing. Whenever you break the trading plan, you hold yourself accountable. Whatever you don't like to do, you literally go and do it. Cold showers, um, taking your wife out on a date. If you hate doing that, then don't break your trading plan, whatever the case is. Are you going to explain the checklist on the how part? No, no, no. I'm never going to explain the checklist, Eddie. Oliver, no, I'm never going to explain the checklist. You're out of your mind, dude. Were you crazy? Come on, dude. You're crazy. Yes, bro, of course, dude. Jesus. Bro, I want to AJ. Oh, look, read this. AJ said this. Bro, I want to ask you a question, but answer me honestly. Okay, AJ, please go ahead. What do you want to ask, dude? I'm just waiting. Smile with Sana. Fuck, I hate AJ and I've never met the guy. All right, AJ said, bro, dude, I can't. This guy, AJ, I'm gonna kick you out of here, bro. This guy's a troll. I'm never gonna answer one of your questions, AJ. You just done fucked up. You just fucked up. Fuck that guy. He literally said, have you been to a Diddy party? Bro, fuck this guy, dude. No, dude. All right. If you understand trading plan, type one. If not, type two. All right. Sick. Sick. Now, now that we understand what is a trading plan, I want to kind of wrap up mainly with one of the most important things to be a very successful trader. Like you can make money in the market, right? Anybody can make money in the market. You pull up to this market and you fucking click sell on Monday. You look at it on Friday. No stop loss, no take profit. You're up on your account simply because from the point that you entered it is at a different point and you made money. Anybody can make money in the market because it's an opportunity. You don't have to have some type of certification. You don't have to have some type of degree, some type of special knowledge on how to use a specific machinery. Like not anybody can go use high or big equipment machinery. Like you need to have a certification on how to be able to use one of these machines. You have to learn how to operate it. Not everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. Everybody can click buy or sell. Male, female, non-binary, young, old, experienced, non-experienced. Anybody can make money, but not anybody can think like a proper day trader. And this is the key to really constantly make money in the markets. It's not about making 10, 20K 1 month just so you pay off a credit card debt and then you want to come back 2, 3 months later and do it again. This is not a fucking lottery. This is not a well where you just go in, you roll the bucket down and fill it up, roll it back up, drink water for a couple days and go back and try and get more. No, that's not how this works. Like you need to become a certain type of person to actually make money in the markets. Same thing for you to operate these high equipment machines. Like you need to have a certain type of experience and knowledge to operate it. You need to be a certain type of person to operate these big machines. Because like if I show you a big machine, control center, like these machines, I've been inside of one of these shits before. And like, where do you start? Like, where the hell do you start in this shit? It's kind of the same thing as trading. Like, you have, so, or it's like an airplane, dude. There you go. That's a better one. Airplane cockpit. Like, I personally don't know how my uncle here knows how the hell to use all these buttons, dude. You have to become a certain type of person to operate every single one of these machines and one of these gauges. Not everybody can do that. It's the same shit with trading. You have to become a certain type of person and you have to start thinking a certain type of way to become a trader. You are not going to be like your friends. You're not going to be like your colleagues. You're not going to be like your siblings. You're not going to be like your significant other. You're not going to be like your parents. You're not going to be like your cousins. You're not going to be like nobody. You are going to be yourself and you have to think like yourself. When a pilot is going to operate all these buttons, they are their own person. They're in their own mindset. They have 100 people behind them that they're making sure that their lives are going to be safe and they're dialed in. their significant other, their brother, their cousin, their whatever, is not going to determine or influence how they're about to fly this plane. Whether they had a good or a bad day at home, whether they're hungry or they're not, it does not matter. Their objective is to get everybody safe to the destination that they have to go to. They have to put everything aside. And when they're in that cockpit and they're flying that fucking plane, they have to make sure that everything is A1 and it's only and solely about the plane and the passengers. They do not have any room for anybody else's opinion, or nobody else is going to understand what it takes to fly a plane with 100 people in it unless it's somebody else inside of the same cockpit. Because even the people inside of the plane don't understand what it takes to fly one of these planes, and they're in the same vessel, in the same vehicle as the actual pilots. So you can have your significant other in the same household as you, in the same room as you, in the same watching this video as you right now, but it does not mean that they really understand what it takes to become a successful pilot or become a successful trader. You need to become and start to think different. Nobody else is gonna get it. And I personally highly recommend you don't tell anybody. You don't tell anybody because you don't want their opinion to influence on you. You don't want them to even give you a look and then you have your own self-doubt on it. Or you don't want to have to go back and forth having to explain a point. That is like the biggest dread ever. Do you think a pilot wants to tell someone else, bro, this shit is so easy. Like, this is just gauge cluster 37, and this is the throttle 25, and this is the fuel tank. This, the other person that has, like, even one of the passengers in the room, in the same plane, like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, you're crazy. Like, this doesn't even make any sense. Like, how did you even do this? Like, are you really going to be able to get us there safe? Blah, 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 blah. Because the average regular person does not understand what it takes to fly a plane. The average and regular person does not understand what it takes to make money in the markets. So don't waste your time explaining to them and forcing something onto them that does not mean anything. It literally does not mean anything to them. They're not a trader. They're not a pilot. Don't try and turn a regular person that does not want to be a pilot into a pilot. Don't try and turn a regular person that does not want to be a trader into a trader. Leave them where they are. You do what you do. When you're done doing your job, you then go back, you guys do whatever, but don't mix and coincide one the other. The type of person that you have to become to be able to fly the plane and use all these operations is going to be completely different than everybody else. Do not let other people influence inside of your trading. Trust me, keep it to yourself, and you're going to see your own progression at the end. Once you become successful, once you start making money from the markets, then you can go and start to break things down if you were to want. But in the journey for you to get to where you want to go, do not have any distractions because it can significantly influence the type of pilot you can potentially become. Because the pilots, that's starting pilots, cockpit, small plane. I think it's a Cessna. When you start off in some Game Boy looking cockpit like this, and your goal is to obviously be in something like this. Are you sure you can do it? Are you sure you can manage it? What you're doing right now is really small. This other shit's really big. It's more risky. Blah, 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 blah. The type of person that you have to become to think of the trader is only going to be for yourself. And you're going to learn it in the next 30, 60 days. Don't you worry about it. But what I need you to know is do it for yourself, and the results, do it for somebody else. But don't try and force your mindset into somebody else. If that makes sense and those analogies were fucking fire, put a 1. If not, put a 2. Jesus. Dude, I should be a fucking analogy handbook, dude. The hair. Oh, dude. Oh, the hair. When you had the hair. Yep. Yep. Bro, I'm a pilot and this made so much sense. There you go. And that wasn't even intended to be motivational. That was just more intended for you guys to understand. Like when you think as a trader, nobody else is gonna understand. Nobody. Let me fly you in my plane. Hell no, dude. I can't do paper planes, bro. I'm bougie now. I can only do jets. I'm no, like I'm being so serious, bro. I throw up if I am not in a jet, bro, or in like a big corporate plane. I just can't do it. Bro, I'm so seasick. You have no idea. I went out on the boat with my friends the other day, and the boat broke down, and it was just rocking like this for 5 minutes, dude. Throwing up all the breakfast that I had. I can't. I'm super, super, super weak stomach. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that wraps up day number 13. So we have about 15 days left inside of the boot camp. So we are almost done. No, I'm kidding. What is the quote of the day? Quotes of the day. Thank you, Jake. Brother, I'm going to remember you. What is the quote of the day? Quote of the day. All right, let me see. Quote of the day. Quote of the day. Let me cook. Let me cook. Fuck AJ. No, that's not the quote of the day. Quote of the day is, I mean, we talked about entry signals. We talked about trading trend reversal. Trading plan. Quote of the day. Let me see. Let me think. Quote of the day. Wait for your entry signal. All right. Friday night, guys. Wait for your entry signal. That is the quote of the day. Wait. Don't be a Diddy. Wait for your entry signal. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today we talked about what is a fake out, which is the same thing as workout, liquidity grab, and a fake friend. We've all been there. What is an entry signal? What is considered proper day trading, swing trading, scalper? What are market reversal and regular patterns? What is a trading plan? And what is the proper way to think as a trader? Ladies and gentlemen, that is day number 5 for you guys. Put a W in the chat if you guys like today's class, or can't give another option. I like today a lot. Let me actually do a poll real quick. Let me do a poll. How are you? I feel like the 7 a.m. classes are cool because I like you start your day on fire. All right, how do you like the 7 a.m. classes? Yes or nah? Oh wow. Oh wow. Smile with Sana. I it's kind of not possible for me to do that. I can't do that. I don't even know who's who. All I see is a Zoom name. I can't get people's information here, brother. All right. I like the alternating classes. It's like, I mean, look at this. 80% like the 7 a.m. classes. Well, 7 a.m. my time. Can we make a poll? No. All right, sick. So what questions do you guys have? Let me see. Let's do a little Q&A. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hold on. 1 second, 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. The chat is literally Jake, trust me. I quote of the day. I know you. Before we go on with the questions, Liz, there goes my Liz. Oh, bro, sometimes, bro, like my Spanish and English, they get confused, dude. The other day I was starting a YouTube video and like the first 10 minutes was in Spanish. I'm like, wait, why am I talking Spanish? You know, I had to redo the whole shit again. Let's make today about what we were speaking on the subjects. Let's not go on the how or things outside of today, please. All right. So go ahead. Before USD CAD, there we go. There goes the fucking first one. Adita, it has nothing to do with what we talked about today. That's everything you asked was on the how. What about entry signals and homework? That is going to be for Thursday. So if today's Friday, so tomorrow we have a class at 4 p.m. EST. Yep. Is the broke camp going to be 30 days or 60 days? Why don't you answer? Shade. Why would you think it's 60 days? You probably saw it somewhere. You heard it somewhere, right? Because you're not asking me, why isn't the boot camp 79 days? Because you never heard or saw that anywhere. You saw 60 days somewhere. So it's fucking 60 days, dude. Jesus. Why aren't you asking me why is it not 69 days? And I don't answer your question because it makes no sense. You got okay, so something that I did want to talk about was Sunday swings. You guys, I don't want to do Sunday swings with you guys this week. I realized that I kind of overshot myself for that, and it was a mistake. So no Sunday swings this week. You guys are gonna only get up to Saturday, and then Sunday I'm gonna give you guys homework. But Sunday swings is gonna be again. I haven't even taught you guys how to learn how to read TradingView. So tomorrow, Saturday, we're gonna advance what we would do on Sunday swings, kind of, and I'll do like a small Sunday swings, but no Sunday swings because it's a bit of an experience thing. Again, don't worry about it. We're gonna be doing Sunday swings for the rest of the year, for all of next year. Don't even worry about it. Why don't you change the quote of the day? Because it's just the one that I picked. Is Trading in the Zone the book you're gonna recommend? Not right now. What will the times be for next week? That's what we're gonna break down tomorrow. Can't the intermediate and experienced join Sunday swings? Again, it's going to confuse people. It's just one more week. Not this Sunday, the next one, there will be a Sunday swing. So it just won't be Sunday swings this one week. Adita Garg, dude, come on, brother. You're asking the same question. When would you give us how to show us TradingView? It's on the how. What do you mean by continuation and reversal? I'll break it down next week. I love your classes. Thank you very much, brother. What traits do I need to be a good trader? Many. Shit. What crypto wallet has nothing to do with today's class? Do I see your question? Yes. The new office looks sick. Thanks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I figured these Q&A sessions are just very hard to manage because they have nothing to do with what we talked about today. What makes you break your trading plan? Greed or setups? Great question. That is a valid question. What makes you break your trading plan? Greed or setups? Greed. I just want to enter a trade and don't want to be patient. I make up my own setup, basically. Um, when do you plan on releasing the training materials on the Swing Trading Lab? Demi? Okay, I'm just gonna say that bro, I don't even want to answer this because I feel like it's a troll. You guys are gonna get access to everything in Swing Trading Lab, the Discord, the fucking Sunday swings, the this, when we are done with the boot camp. I'm not gonna answer anymore because that's how I know people aren't watching the recording. All right, sick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for day number 5 of the 30-day bootcamp. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow when we are now going to talk about our next subjects along with the book that I want you guys to read. Thank you guys very much for being parts of another day inside of the bootcamp. I will see you guys next